Where was I for the past 3 weeks? I was living my dream in Japan. And we're gonna tell you what the highlights are for someone who might wanna travel there for the first time, which I did. Milynn has also been to Japan.
3 times.
3 times, I'm a newbie.
I was just there for all of December.
Yeah, you know, just the whole month, celebrating, what have you. I still have jet lag. I've mentioned it to you. I feel insane. So remember that if you're traveling from Asia to North America or around there. See, I'm insane. I don't know how to do this. But I did have a great time. So I spent time in Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto. What would you say are your highlights?
In just those areas?
Sure, or anywhere.
So the Sensoji Temple in Tokyo is a great thing to see.
there.
Yeah, so that's a good one. There's also the Boroichi flea market happens once a month in Japan. So usually I think around the 15th or 16th. It's 2 days. But if you want to get kimonos, they have a lot of vintage kimonos. And if you usually go on the second day, you can really work some deals. I'm talking about like beautiful like kimono and obi for less than $20.
I saw a lot of secondhand shops that had beautiful
They're
kimono
a little
obi.
pricier though. So
Really?
yeah, compared to this. I mean, this is where you're gonna get like
The best
some
deals.
of the best deals.
When I arrived, we stayed in Shinjuku, and that's really.
I would actually recommend staying in Shibuya over Shinjuku.
I went to Shibuya because I wanted to visit the Shibuya Scramble Crossing and Hachiko, which is right there, and I liked it there too. There's a lot to do. I kind of like the city centers, but I love the small streets that you can just walk in the middle of, and there's very minimal traffic. I went to Golden Gai, which it's this area with a bunch of very small bars, maybe 10 people, maybe
Max,
less.
like 5 to 10 people at a time. They're very narrow, and it's usually standing room. Every now and then, they may have seats right next to the bar, super, super tiny.
Yeah, I stood next to the bar and the bathroom and a sink, and it was fun.
But it's fun. So the first time we went and you just go like drinking and walking around the Golden Gai. There's a lot of little like meat on a stick shops.
I love it. I discovered kushikatsu, and that's all I want to eat now, which is very unhealthy, but it's tasty.
It's tasty. And then I also shot Tifa Lockhart in the Golden Gai.
Oh, is that where?
Yeah.
That makes sense, because Golden Gai is a little crowded, a little small.
It looks a lot like Midgar.
A little dirty, a little Midgar-y.
Very Midgar looking. So some of the other cool things that you can do when you're in Tokyo is there's a lot of different cafes. There was an otter cafe that I went to that had hedgehogs as well. There's also the owl cafes. I'm a little scared of birds, so
that's fine.
It's always a little terrifying. Some are better than others. I still question the animals are better taken care of in some as opposed to others.
I went to one in Osaka, actually, with cats and owls and hedgehogs, and it was great. It smelled bad, but it was great inside. I'm trying to think of all the wonderful things I did, but it's...
Did you have a chance to go to Odaiba?
Yes, I went to Odaiba to watch the giant Gundam, Unicorn Gundam right now, and it has a show if you come at certain times, and I did, and they played like an anime accompaniment, and we saw it like, you know, the unicorn horn, and I think it's cool, and the mask changed, and the lights, and the armor like shifted a bit to get into its ready pose. I had a great time, and it's like a tulip festival there in Odaiba right now. So it was beautiful. Oh, and I went when the cherry blossoms were blooming.
The first year I went.
Keep an eye on that. It was
at that
cold.
time. The other things I would recommend that you can do Maricar, which is you can dress up as Mario characters and then drive on the streets of Tokyo in a go-kart.
I was too scared to drive in Tokyo.
But you're following someone. It's not scary at all. You should definitely do it. You have to make sure you have your international driver's permit before you go, which you literally just go to AAA, pay $25. You don't have to do anything special for it, no test. There's the Rainbow Bridge to Odaiba. You drive over that. Yes.
I saw that. It was beautiful. And there's a Statue of Liberty.
Yes, and there's a random Statue of Liberty that they'll take you to take pictures in front of, which we did, and that was super
Sure. I had fun with that. I liked going to Akihabara. There's a lot going on. Did I pronounce it wrong?
Yeah, it's Akihabara.
Akihabara.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone.
Just so, because they'll nail you.
Okay, sorry. I'm trying my best. Sumimasen. I had a lot of fun there. I found different stores that I wouldn't have found except for the internet otherwise.
Yeah.
And I ate the best ramen of my life there.
Nice.
At some random place. And I liked how there was so much food available, like great food.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to find a Michelin star restaurant to have a really good dining experience. I went to this restaurant where you fish. And then you go fishing, then they take your fish and cook it the way you want it. I had a great time there. It's expensive and it's gimmicky, but I had to do it.
There's a ton of like gimmicky, fun places though.
I know, and I liked it.
Did you play? So in Aki is like their electric town. A lot of like otaku stuff and that kind of thing. But they have the gaming centers where you can like a lot of arcades, and then where you can like try and win plushies and stuff, which I'm not good at. But friends that I've gone with they crush it every time.
My strategy is to use the claw to push certain toys closer to the hole, and as opposed to grab them.
Did you win?
No, because I didn't have the patience, and I was drinking a Chuhai, and it was just too hard for me at the time. So I went to a gachapon store, which are like the toy surprise machines, and did that instead. Because you always win with those, Milynn.
Everything but your wallet wins with those. So those, the gachapon are the little toys that come in the bubbles, but Japan has, I mean, walls and walls and walls of them.
Useful ones. I have a small coin pouch that looks like a sandwich, and I didn't have that before. My friend from Japan wanted to wear kimono, so we did that while walking around an old part of Kyoto.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were doing that, because I was worried, like, oh, I'm a foreigner, should I be doing this?
No.
But it seemed fine.
So yukata and kimono are not, I feel like people have this misconception that it's only something geishas wear, but it's not at all. I'm part Japanese. Sometimes people wear them going to temple. Sometimes people wear them just for festivals. It's a really common thing. It's not unusual. Like you'll see people, it's just part of the lifestyle in Japan. So you're not like doing anything disrespectful by wearing one.
I know. I think a really important part is to respect the culture of the country that you're going to. So I did try to learn a little bit of Japanese. Thankfully, Japanese people are very kind if you're bad at it, like I am. And I loved how clean public spaces were. I loved that people were, like, they respected lines instead of just like a massive swarms. I loved it.
One last thing, the escalator. The escalator, one side for walking, one side for stopping.
But guess what?
That way everybody can go through.
It's one way in Tokyo, and it's another way in Osaka.
In Osaka.
It reverses.
That's
so you have to remember that.
Kyoto and Tokyo are the same, but Osaka reverses. I don't know why we noticed that.
I don't know, but just look at what everyone else is doing and try to be very respectful and in line with that. I had a great time. I would definitely go back because I didn't do everything, obviously. There's a lot to do. Audience, have you been to Japan, and what are your favorite parts?